Hey, what's going on everyone? We've got some Star Wars news to talk about, as it has been actually a little bit since we've had any kind of news updates, but this one's coming from Disney CEO Bob Iger in a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter. During their extended interview, Iger talked a lot about Disney and where it's going in the future and areas that they could improve upon and how he sees some of their franchises like Marvel and Star Wars going in the future. With regards to Star Wars specifically, he addressed the fact that Solo underperformed and maybe there is an issue with how Disney is handling Star Wars. He said, quote, "I made the timing decision, and as I look back, I think the mistake that I made, I take the blame, was a little too much too fast. You can expect some slowdown, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be making films. I think we're going to be going a little bit more careful about volume and timing." Currently, what we know is that J.J. Abrams is working on the final installment of this current sequel trilogy, Episode 9. We also have Game of Thrones creators Benioff and Weiss working on a new saga of Star Wars films, along with Rian Johnson working on a separate standalone trilogy of films. And we also know that there are some spin-offs in the back burner like Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Jabba the Hutt, etc. But there's also some stuff that we haven't really seen much of yet, and that's like the Star Wars live-action show from Jon Favreau, and some more animated series and other things like that. But I think that the fact that Iger is specifically focusing on the actual volume and timing of the releases, because that was a big point of contention, was that The Last Jedi came out in December of 2017 and Solo came out in May this year. So people thought that maybe 5 to 6 months between Star Wars films was just too much, and they should have pushed it to December to give it that annual release date. But it looks like Iger is saying that not even annually are these movies going to be coming out now. Maybe they'll actually be pushing every other year or every 3 years like it used to be, which would be pretty interesting, but I'm not sure he actually understands the real issue that's happening with Star Wars, or I guess one of the bigger issues among several things, which is the fact that, frankly, the new films that Disney is putting out are far too similar with each other, and they're not really exploring the potential of what the franchise could be. When you look at the 4 films that Disney has produced, they've done Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, and Solo, and all of them feel very, very similar. They're all taking things that we knew or, kind of knew and tweaking them very slightly, some of them nostalgia driven like Rogue One and Solo, especially Force Awakens, because that was kind of a return to form after so many years. Disney's first film, obviously they kind of had to play it safe with that one, but after that I think a lot of people were expecting something drastically different, exploring different genres, different scales to these films. They could do a small scale thing here and there, but instead they did something like The Last Jedi, which was kind of trying to dissect or kind of break down what is Star Wars and subvert expectations and things like that, but that didn't ultimately pan out overall with the audience. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you guys think that slowing down Star Wars films, not having one a year is the right approach, or do you think that there's something else wrong with Disney's approach to Star Wars films beyond just having a big volume, one every year plus TV shows and other merchandise and things like that? Do you think that is the bigger issue? And for more updates on Star Wars and everything pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.